Guidus 0 is a real-time grid-based action roguelike game. You take on the role of 3 unique heroes, you level, you upgrade, and then you prepare yourself to dive into the Scar, a massive sinkhole that appeared suddenly in the center of the continent, attempting to uncover its secrets. I genuinely love games with this specific aesthetic, which is why when the devs reached out to me and asked if I was interested in taking a sponsored look at this game, I said, heck yeah. With this in mind, if you were at all interested in anything that you see, then I urge you to scroll down into the description or the pinned comment below and buy the game. The early access launch price is $14.99 with the game launch on the 25th of November, and there is a 10% discount that will last for 2 weeks after launch. You're introduced to the game with an opening scene depicting one of the characters' journey towards a scar. You're then swapped over to another one of the characters as she explores a section of the Forbidden Forest while slowly being walked through the game and its mechanics. Immediately, you are going to be hit with nostalgia, bringing you back to JRPGs of decades ago. Again, as I noted earlier, I absolutely adore this aesthetic. It is one of my favorite visual styles. It's simple, it's sleek, it's elegant, but at the same time, it is also incredibly expressive. You'll run around a series of different rooms. Every room, at least from what I've experienced, features 2 waves of enemies that spawn randomly. Every floor has different unique enemy types with their own attack patterns and abilities. You'll circle around the room attempting to dodge melee, magic, projectiles of all sorts from all sides, all while utilizing your own individual unique ability that is specific to each different character. This ability, or trait as it's referred to in Guidus 0, is set to your E key, and you utilize this to absolutely decimate your foes in each character's own unique respective way. This naturally provides each character their own unique utility, and therefore their own advantages and disadvantages to not only using them, but also combating certain enemy types and boss monsters. Honestly, this took me a lot of getting used to, not because it was overwhelmingly difficult, but because I'm just not really all that used to these specific types of games. But the more I played it, the more I got the hang of it, and the more I then by extension, by association, enjoyed it. Combat is fast, it is fluid, the animations were good. After clearing the tutorial, I encountered Zephyrus, who essentially used me as a mop to wipe up the blood left after absolutely destroying me. I thought just before engaging him that I had a grasp of the general basics of the game. Boy, was I wrong. After dying to Zephyrus, I woke up, teleported to the surface by Hazel, who instructs me to just dive back in and try again. The worst that can happen is that this will kill me. And if he does kill me, just before he deals that final finishing blow, she can instantly teleport me back out. And apparently he can't follow me. So in the grand scheme of things, we're all good, as long as she teleports me out in time. Naturally, I went back in. I died again. But this time, I actually made it to the first major boss, the Shadow Whisper. This required much more strategy and timing than anything I'd encountered up until that point. I needed to dodge his little purple balls that were coming out from all directions, focus on attacking his roots, dodging the tile that lit up to attack me, keeping an eye on both sides of the room for not only the balls, but also a room-wide AoE, all while dealing damage to the tree itself in between all of this dodging. This guy admittedly took me a few tries to defeat himself, but this wasn't through sheer force of will. Rather, it was a number of different game mechanics that you unlock through playing the game, such as the Spirit Bond. You collect numerous different spirits, which provide you with different beneficial effects. Take Atlan, the Spirit of Water here. It offers you Rain Shower, which inflicts drench on enemies while restoring your stamina. There is Frost Sword, which shoots 2 different swords, dealing direct damage to enemies. Different elements provide different abilities, different stat boosts, and have different restorative effects. But this is just one feature that'll aid you in progressing through the Scar. You can re-engrave stones that you can equip, providing various different boosts to different stats. You can enhance abilities such as HP, attack, stamina, even damage reduction. Evidently, these are going to be imperative to your success. I leveled my HP, I believe, about 3 times. I did my attack twice and damage reduction twice by the time that I was done. This helped me tremendously. Without the stat upgrades, I doubt I would have gotten nearly as far as I had. How far? Well, I defeated Zephyrus and cleared through floor 5. Let me tell you, Zephyrus took me over an hour. His abilities, they drove me to the edge of insanity. His ranged attacks, his AoEs, his teleports, his enrage at the final third of his HP. This was arguably one of the most challenging fights that I have done in a long time in any game. The satisfaction I felt when I had finally defeated him was unrivaled. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Before diving into the Scar though, you can select from one of 2 different abilities. This will drastically affect how you tackle the dungeon. You can also select from one of 3 different characters. I tried both Dahlia and Chatri, but I found Dahlia with her lunging ability to be largely my style of play. Chatri really just didn't provide me the same range that Dahlia did, and based off of my experience, that additional range was what really allowed me to truly stand a chance at clearing content, especially at defeating Zephyrus. While in the Scar, you'll notice that there are several different rooms. Most of them are encounter rooms, so combat and battle rooms. A couple of these house a treasure chest that rewards you with an artifact, providing you with some pretty insane benefits. Things like damage, survivability, entirely altered attacks. You'll find a store, allowing you to purchase certain items like potions. These change every dungeon. As you delve deeper into the game, you'll explore new diverse regions, you'll face larger, more menacing enemies, you'll also meet new characters, new NPCs, unlock new features, new stories, and this is only the beginning. The devs are working on new, more powerful enemies with different attack patterns and mechanics. They're also working on new playable characters. This was honestly a very fun game. It has a great graphical style, a solid gameplay loop with a lot of replayability, which is why if you're interested in playing it, once again, I urge you to go on down into the description and the pinned comment below and click that link. You will not regret taking advantage of this discount while you can.